This is a warning video for anybody that is excited about the Nintendo Switch 2 for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, but is planning to compete at any upcoming events moving forward. So we are like a week out from the Switch 2, a little over a week until the Switch 2 actually drops. And I know many people are excited because there is that new Scarlet and Violet update that's going to increase the graphics, going to increase the frame rate. It's going to be fantastic. However, if you're planning on competing at events like NAIC and potentially Worlds, you need to be aware of this potential issue. So on the official Play Pokemon page, it says what to bring: a fully charged Nintendo Switch OLED model, or Nintendo Switch Lite system with working USB-C port, the latest system updates installed, and wired internet settings set to automatic. While the Nintendo Switch 2 system is not currently eligible for this competition, further details will be shared regarding the future events. Now, this is important right here. The Switch 2 will be out when NAIC is happening. However, the thing to note about this is that currently, the Switch 2, we don't know if the docks that they have available for these events that you place your Switch in during the competition, if these docks even support the Switch 2. So we may not even have docks that can actually charge the Switch 2 and connect to the internet at the event house. We don't know that the Switch 2 is actually going to be able to work with the equipment that they already have. So they are saying for events like this, you're going to need to keep your Switch 1 in order to play at these events. Now, I also want to mention that we talked in a separate video about the fact that there is that update coming for the Nintendo Switch 2 for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. However, what we don't know about this is what that does to the save file for Scarlet and Violet. Yes, on the previous Nintendo Switch systems, on your OLED and a base model, you could transfer a save back and forth. However, once you update this game and you save your Scarlet and Violet save, we don't know if that save can be transferred back to an original Nintendo Switch model anymore. So I would say that for the time being, do not move your save file over to a Switch 2. It is just unconfirmed at this point because we do not have hands on the system. If this is going to be allowed for you to transfer back and forth between the two systems, which is a little scary for those that are planning on attending these events, if you've already spent the money, things like that, that is a little nerve-wracking. So I would say avoid at all costs moving that save file over to a Switch 2 system if you're planning on attending NAIC or Worlds. That is just something that I feel like some people may have noticed if they looked at the rules, but many people probably are not aware of just because of the hype of the Switch 2. They may have overlooked something like this. So that is definitely something to keep in mind. And again, we don't know how save transfers work with the Switch 2 to a base model Switch. So right now, the safest thing to do is keep that save file on the Switch it is currently on. Do not mess around with that if you're planning on attending these events. Now, I will say, as far as locals are concerned, this is a non-issue. If you are planning on only attending locals, then you can move your save file over, get the update, and do all that fun stuff, and you should be good to go. There should be no complication there because you could just simply play the game and charge your Switch 2 at that local. There should be no issue there at all. So you should be good as long as you're attending locals to move your saves over. But if you're attending a bigger event like a regional, like NAIC or Worlds, do not move that save over. That is just something I want to make very aware for everybody out there that may not have already thought about this. There's a lot of unknowns as far as save transfers go between the Switch 2 and the Switch 1. So we just need to be a little cautious moving forward with events. I know this is a little different from the normal battle videos, but this is something that's been on my mind a lot. I know I have friends going to events coming up, and most of them have already said that they're not planning on moving their save over because they were aware of this issue. But I'm sure there are many people out there that weren't aware of this issue, and hopefully this video helps them out. So that is going to be it. This was just a quick update video regarding the Switch 2 and Pokemon Scarlet and Violet for events and stuff. Make sure you keep that save on the Switch that's there currently. But that is it for this video, guys. I hope this was helpful, and if it was, leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe for more Pokemon Scarlet and Violet stuff from me in the future. And until next time, peace.